On the Mark with Father Mark Davis. Good morning, Father Mark. I want to say a couple of things about you before we begin your segment today. Father Mark is a trained magician. Did you know this? Absolutely fabulous. In fact, we are having our 15th anniversary celebration this Thursday, and Father Mark Davis is doing a little something called Magic with a Message, along with Dr. Ray Garindy and Father Eric Schild. So I can't wait for that segment and for that time with you this Thursday evening and today's segment. On the Mark with Father Mark Davis. Good morning, Father.
Good morning, Dave. Good morning, Pat. Good morning, Ron. How are you all today?
I'm going to speak for the group. We're fine.
And Father, I do want to point out that as I told people about you, I didn't do it on purpose. I didn't say the most obvious thing, that you're like 8 feet tall. You're the tallest priest in the Diocese of Toledo. I don't know, 8'1". So you're very, very tall. And so I didn't say that because you probably get tired of hearing that, and I didn't want to bring it up.
Well, thank you for bringing that up, Dave.
Yeah.
When I first, after I graduated from the University of Notre Dame, I ended up with a friend visiting him and getting a job near Philadelphia, actually in the Trenton, New Jersey area. And I was, at night I would go into different places and perform magic for people, and they'd hire me. And I had a nightclub that had me a Tuesday night show, and I was thinking about what would I kind of have to call myself as a little moniker. So I called my friend, the cartoonist from Notre Dame. I said, "What about being the world's tallest magician?" Yeah. And he said, "No, be the third tallest. It's just funny." So for years, I was just the world's third tallest magician, which I have no idea. I'm probably not anywhere close. And it's just silly.
That's funny.
I love that.
So I've been telling people that they need to register for Thursday night because we've got a lot of registrations, don't we?
Yeah, too late. We're filled up. That filled the capacity. Nobody can register any longer. It's all shut down.
Oh.
Yeah, the house is full, as they say.
Do you know what's interesting? I have people tell me interesting things. The guy told me last Wednesday that he went into a local restaurant and he saw a sign that said, "Employees must wash hands."
Yeah.
And then the guy said he waited a half an hour and no one came to wash his hands, so he had to wash them himself.
Employees must signs everywhere. There's signs. Yeah, that's good.
So he also told me about this couple who've been married for several years, and they have always dreamed about traveling the world. And they just thought about all the places they want to go. They wanted to go to Ireland and the Holy Land and to Rome. They wanted to go to Australia and Hawaii and take a cruise, around Alaska. But they never went anywhere yet because they couldn't decide where to go. And so for his wife's birthday, the husband got a big map of the world that was square. And he mounted it on foam board, and he wrapped it all up, and she opened it up, and then he had a very special box wrapped up that had a dart in it.
Oh, nice.
He said, "Honey, I want you to stand, a few feet away, and I'll spin it so you don't know if it's upside down. So you don't really going to aim. I just want you to throw the dart, and wherever the dart lands, we'll go there for 2 weeks, and we'll finally, go on a vacation." All right, so she threw the dart, and they spent 2 weeks behind the couch.
That's pretty good.
I love it.
That's good stuff.
So that story, you have no idea how nice it is to hear a joke that I had not heard before.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I never heard it.
And I was thinking about that, is about this couple wanting to go on vacation, but never, ever getting there, no matter what they do. And I just remember my own dad, after I was ordained, and who'd been a Catholic for so many years, probably in his 80s, and he said to me, "Mark, I prayed for something all these years, and it never came true." And I'm just thinking how many people really feel that God never answers their prayers, especially, if it doesn't happen exactly what they want, when they want. And I think that was really key in this past weekend's readings, was about faith. And then Paul had his famous line about faith, and he recalled the story of Abraham. And I think it's so key for us as Christians that Abraham was the first person in our Bible tradition that God revealed himself to. And he promised Abraham and Sarah not only descendants as many as the stars, but also that he would bring them to a land flowing with milk and honey. So they left all of their wealth, all that land, all the cattle, and all that, and they got to Israel to a 7-year famine. Yeah. And they didn't have a child right away. And all these things happened, but Abraham and Sarah, they stayed faithful. And the truth is, their descendants do number more than the stars, because every Jewish person, in lineage, and every Jewish person of faith, every Christian who's ever lived was a descendant of Abraham, and through Hagar and Ishmael, every Muslim. I mean, he has countless. So God kept his promise in his way and in his time, and they glimpsed it, but they kept faithful. And what's really interesting, what's really key, is that we trust that faith is going to be our hopes come true, but not always in the way that we think and never in the time we think. But faith is also continuing to practice our faith and to be able to get evidence of God's invisible presence along the way. And what's really key, I think, with Abraham is that he kept faithful. And so when those 3 men came, he welcomed them and loved on them like he did countless other travelers. And that was the means that God used to be able to bring about Isaac. And even after he had his child and then was going to begin, the family of descendants, he still was willing to give him back to God because he trusted in God. And this is so hard because so often, at least I am very narrow in how I want my prayers answered. But I think that we got to trust in God and continue to show up and practice our faith and try to imitate God and spread the message, and we get evidence of those things unseen to hope along the way.
I love it, Father, and particularly this sacrifice that Abraham is called to make, but he believes somehow, because the promise has been made that he's going to have these descendants through Isaac, he's willing to sacrifice Isaac, believing that promise is still going to come true. He believes in some kind of resurrection or something. Obviously, you can't believe in the promise and sacrifice his son thinking nothing is going to come after Isaac if you believe the promise that God made is going to be fulfilled.
And God used that to say that he does not want human sacrifice from us. And it's just so the layers of this revelation is so great. So if you're listening, we hope you have a wonderful week. And as we go forth, no matter where you are in your life, trust that God always answers our prayers in his way, in his own time, but gives us what we need along the way if we show up.
Hey, I wanted to say this very quickly. Just got a text from Jeffrey Hostetler from Des Moines, Iowa. He is the 4th tallest magician in the world, and he wondered who was 3rd, and now he knows. So thank you for that.
Praise be to God.
Thank you, Father Mark Davis.